I'd like to share with you a hymn story of a beautiful hymn called "It Is Well With My Soul." And I'll be singing that in just a moment. Horatio G. Spafford and his wife Anna were dedicated Christians. They lived on the north side suburb of Chicago along with their 5 children. Horatio was a very successful lawyer in Chicago, and he had invested heavily in real estate along Lake Michigan. In 1870, their first tragedy hit. Their 4-year-old son died of scarlet fever. In October of 1871, the Great Chicago Fire destroyed most of the city of Chicago. 250 people died in that tragic fire, and 90,000 were left homeless. Horatio and Anna, their home was spared. However, they used what resources they had left to feed the hungry and to help the homeless, to care for the sick and injured, and to comfort their grief-stricken neighbors. Even though most of his investments were gone in the fire, they still had a burden of love for others. Then in 1873, the Spaffords planned a trip to Europe. They wanted to go there to do some sightseeing, but also to help their good friend D.L. Moody, along with Ira Sankey, who were conducting revival meetings in England. They planned to leave November, but the day they were to set sail for Europe, Spafford had a business emergency and he could not leave. Not wanting to disappoint his family, he sent his wife and 4 daughters on ahead, and he planned to follow in another ship in a few days. On November 22nd of 1873, the ship that Anna and the 4 girls were on was struck by another vessel in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Only 81 of the 307 passengers and crew members survived this shipwreck. An American cargo sailing vessel arrived which was nearby in time to gather the survivors. Anna was found floating among the debris of the ship, and her first reaction was one of complete despair. Somebody said this to her: "You were spared for a purpose." The ship took her to Cardiff, Wales, where she telegraphed Horatio, saying, "Saved, alone." All 4 of their daughters had been drowned. Pastor Nathaniel Weiss, one of the ministers traveling with their group, remembered hearing Anna say, "God gave me 4 daughters. Now they've been taken from me. Someday I will understand why." As Horatio was sailing across the Atlantic Ocean, the captain of his ship called him to the bridge, saying, "We are now passing the place where your wife's ship went down." That night, alone in his cabin, Horatio penned the words to this famous hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul." He wrote it as a poem, and some years later, Philip P. Bliss, a songwriter and composer, set the poem to music. And that is the music that we know of for this hymn today. Philip P. Bliss and his wife, unfortunately, a few months after writing the composition for this song, were killed in a tragic train wreck. Both of these families knew heartache. They knew tragedy. They knew the loss of life. And while we don't understand why God allows things of a tragic nature to happen, we know it does. But God has also used the words of this beautiful hymn to comfort many people. I'd shared with my church just a few moments ago that I happened to be listening to a hymn sing video from a church in Northern Ireland. And for about an hour they were singing hymns. And the very last one was this song. And the thing that amazed me was I heard them sing 2 verses that I had never heard before. So I grabbed my laptop, I did a quick online search, and I found those other 2 verses, and I'm going to add them to the song that I'm singing today. May God bless your soul. May His peace and love and comfort fill you so that whenever you're going through a storm in life, you'll know that God is with you and it is well with your soul.